Hello, I'm Marshall Blake. Welcome to Garden Work Projects. These days, a lot of farmers are selling their fresh grown produce at farmers markets and things like that. And you find that they're planting 100 tomato plants, but they're running into problems. And now, if you're planning on planting a lot of tomato plants to sell at a farmer's market and you've never planted a lot of them before, I want to give you some helpful little tips that'll help you along so you don't make a mistake your first year like I did. Um, I went to the greenhouse and you can buy tomatoes in 4 packs or 6 packs, and they come with this little stake in them, tells what brand they are, how far apart they should be planted, and everything like that. And the common rule of thumb is plant it like it says to plant it. Although a lot of people do not like to plant tomatoes in cages. I don't like to plant them in cages. I feel they do better when they're not planted in cages. But when it comes to tomatoes, if you go by the directions on the little stake, you're going to end up with a mess. You're going to end up with no rows to walk down to pick your tomatoes, because they're going to all kind of grow together. Tomato plants get pretty big. And so here's a little bit of helpful advice for you. If you're not caging your tomatoes and you're planting say 50 or 100 tomato plants to sell at farmers markets or for whatever other reason, you're going to want to your row spacing is going to be 8 to 9 foot, not the 6 foot that the little stakes suggest. That way you have a row to walk down, through to pick your tomatoes. Otherwise, if you plant them 6 foot, they're all going to grow together and you're not going to have a row to walk down. And it's a real pain in the butt. Another reason why you're going to want to plant them further apart is you're going to want to get your garden tiller down through them rows. Because when tomatoes start turning ripe, if the ground is too moist, them tomatoes is going to start splitting. And if you can't get your garden tiller down through the rows, you can't get your soil dried out, and they're just going to continue splitting. So there's 2 good reasons right there to plant your tomato plants, in a row spacing of at least 8 to 9 foot if you're not going to use tomato cages. Now down, in your row, you're going to want to plant them 6 foot apart, just like the directions say. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little tip of the day, and I really hope you learned some from it and you do not make a mistake like I did. Now, one more thing I did want to say is, tomato cages are expensive. If you're planting 100 tomatoes, you're going to have $600 wrapped up in tomato cages for good ones. That's another reason why I don't like tomato cages. The tomatoes just don't do as well in tomato cages, and they are expensive. So I'm giving you kind of a good, helpful alternative tip here, so you can plant a lot of tomatoes and still have rows to walk down, and have room to get your tiller up and down, so your soil can dry out and your tomatoes won't split, and plus a way you can save money not buying tomato cages. Until next time, God bless you.